Ms. Joyce Chirada, who is the regional manager for the Ghana Standards Authority. So let's also welcome her. Please keep showing up. Thank you very much. So what we are going to do is that we have some questions for them. We'll ask some questions, and then when they are done, we'll open the floor for you to also ask any question that you have on your mind. So I'll start off with Mr. Asani. So can you share some of the experiences related to the work that you do in the local economy and some of the challenges that you have experienced?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. And yes, I want to thank you too for taking me unawares. Yes. So I am after the Tampuri. Many people call me Moses Tampuri. In fact, I have been in the development field for quite some time. And in all those years, I've actually worked with the local economy, that is the people in my constituency, in trying to support in the area of development, because we know government cannot do it all. So the NGO is mandated, or as in my case, my organization is mandated to support in the development process. In all that we do, we try to support, especially in the agri sector, to see how farmers can improve on their production. And so it goes along with a whole lot of issues that farmers are having challenges as a result of the poor soils. They have cultivated the land over and over again, and so these soils are poor. How do we turn things around for them to improve or increase production? So it calls for a lot of measures. Through my NGO, we've had projects that come to help in the soil profile, trying to know the type of soil that these farmers are even cultivating, trying to tell or know what type of fertilizers that they will use to improve upon the soil, and also to do a lot of other things that will improve upon the soil so that they increase production. As we know, because of climate change, there's a lot of challenges that farmers face. The rains don't come as they should come. The seeds that farmers use are no more able to, do well because of the short periods of the rains. So there's a need for farmers to now use improved seed so that they can harvest quickly and just within a short span of the rains. So there are a lot of challenges as to what farmers can do to improve upon their harvest. And so a lot of interventions that we have done trying to diversify their livelihoods. So we don't just rely on farming alone. We try to support farmers to do other things that can augment whatever they get from the farms. So there's that issue of encouraging farmers to go into dry season gardening, which is very a potential for some of them because there are rivers in their communities, which hitherto they were not using. So the one option is to do the dry season gardening that will also help bring in some income. There's also the issue of animal rearing, because there's, in that light, it is a traditional venture of most people in northern Ghana. And so people should be begin, farmers should begin to see animal rearing and poultry farming as another form of income generating activity, not our usual buy a goat and rear, rear, but to do that with that sense of increasing incomes. But in all that, we see that our farmers, especially the women, lack empowerment. In fact, they lack skills to do all these things. So there's a need for skill training in the various other options of livelihoods that we give them. There's also the issue of startup capitals to go into some of these ventures. There's no enough money that our women have so that they can start up a business or improve or expand their businesses. But one lucky thing that we have also done in our area of work is the introduction of the PSLA associations. The PSLA associations is one way of empowering our women especially to put together little pieces of coins and seeds. So at the end of a certain period, say 9 months or 1 year, they are able to put that together and then improve upon their income activities. Even before the end of the 9 months or 12 months, when they start the VSLA contributions, they can still go into that pit and borrow money at a very reduced interest rate and then expand their businesses. This is to help them, with our financial institutions, there are not many in the Northeast region, so that women entrepreneurs can go and pick money to increase their businesses. But they can also use their local level initiatives and then put together little bits of money to use, and then while they wait for other opportunities to improve upon their incomes. So I don't know whether I've answered your question, but this is what I have to share.
Great. Thank you very much, Mr. Asani. So at least we are beginning to see some of the interventions that you are putting in place to enhance productivity of women and youth businesses within the various communities, especially when it comes to issues about soil and agricultural productivity. So that is good. But I'd like to come to the exporter, Ephraim. He is now in the business of, he's at the other end of the value chain, where he's now able to export some commodities outside Ghana. So he has actually taken advantage of the opportunities that we have. So how did it all start for you? And what kind of support did you require at the point where you conceived the idea to export to get to this point?
Well, thank you very much, and say good evening to everyone. Yes, it was really challenging from the beginning, the starting point. And that is one of the things that is bringing back the youth in Ghana. Capital, the seed capital to start business. And when you are starting business in Ghana, is something that's very difficult because everything you are doing requires money. You need money to start it. And if you don't have money, at the end of the day, you will back up. So when I started founding fortunately, I'm not just only an entrepreneur, but I'm a teacher as well. So I supported myself with the salary that I earned at the end of the month, and also went in for personal loan to invest in my business. God being so good, I have been able to sustain the business from that point up to this particular level. And quite apart from the loans and my personal salaries and savings, when I sell the product, the money that is generated from the product is being invested again into the business. So you sell, you make a little profit, you add the profit into the business to grow it up. So that is how I started the whole thing up to this level.
Okay. So can you tell us, share some specifics in terms of now how much quantity are you able to export, where can we even find your products in overseas, and the farmers and the women that are connected to your business, who are also beginning to see some kind of transformation in their living conditions?
Yes, we are able to export to Tanzania. So we have a partner, Tanzania, whom we export products to. We also export to UK as well, but the UK not huge quantity. Tanzania, Kenya, we have been able to export up to 10 metric tons, probably in a year, to Tanzania and Kenya as well. But the UK is, we are still securing business, trying to sign a contract with one cosmetic company. So we are still in talking terms. So we are hoping by the end of the year we should be able to get that deal and be able to export a huge quantity. And I'm sure with that we should be able to export more than 50 metric tons, 100 metric tons to UK. Yes. And at the moment, we are working with 271 women in the rural communities. And we are trying to set another processing center at Landisi. So we've been to Landisi to meet the chief of Landisi, who has agreed to give us land. He actually sent us to the where he's giving us, allocating the land for us, so that there's communities around Landisi who use, or the women around these areas, to be able to get, to give them employment. So they have given, the chief has actually agreed to give us 4 plots of land to build our processing center. So that is what we are also trying to do at Northeast region.
Thank you, that's wonderful. That leads me to Standards Authority. Joyce, so what kind of support do you think that businesses like that Ephraim is talking about, what kind of support do you think they will require to be able to leverage on the advantages that we have in our local economies to actually tap into the market out there?
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Ghana Standards Authority plays a vital role in providing a favorable business environment in the country by developing, promoting, and enforcing standards in the country. And it does this through metrology, standardization, and conformity assessment. So when we say metrology, testing is involved, inspection, and then certification. That is the metrology, conformity assessment, and then standardization put together. So with the metrology, that's one we have officers that are always in the field doing that work, but that one doesn't cover SMEs. It's within the oil marketing. So when we say conformity assessment and then inspection and then testing and certification are put together. That is, if you come to us, or maybe if we come to your company, what we to see is we come to do inspection in your company. That is, if you come and want to have your product certified with Ghana Standards Authority, we first of all need you to provide us with certain information, which is MBSSI certificate, registered general certificate, and then quality manual. Then you pay a fee for a particular product, which or the particular product that you are into. Then after that, we'll dispatch inspectors to go into your company and then do inspection. Then pick samples from there, and then when they pick the samples, they bring it, they will process it and send it to Accra for certification. That's if you want to satisfy the products, so that you get international and then local markets. You see that. And then if these activities ensures that products are goods and services. These activities ensure that products or goods and services produced in Ghana, whether for local consumption or for exports, are safe, reliable, and of good quality. That's for the testing aspect that they have. And then we also do training. We offer training for SMEs. So if you come to us, we will offer a training, and then this training is on capacity building. The GSA provide training for industries to promote compliance with international standards and improve productivity. So when you come to us, these are some of the activities that we do. We carry on inspection, testing, and then certification. And we have various fees for each and every product when you come to us. And the good thing is that when you come to us and then we give you the fee, and you are unable to meet the requirement or you are not able to pay the full amount, we give you the opportunity to pay by installments. Then after which we will now come to your facility and conduct the inspection and pick the samples for the certification.
Okay, thank you, Joyce. I'd like to zero in a bit on the favorable business environment, because a lot of us here, I'm sure, would like to be in the position of Ephraim, where with the agro-processing, they should be able to now look for markets through the support of GEPA, okay, and even the Ghana Enterprises Agency to look for larger markets out there. But they can only do that if they have the right certification. How many of us here are aware of this, the processes that are involved to be able to get their product to that level?
In fact, thank you for giving this question. At least in Tamale, a lot of businesses are aware of this process. But that of Northeast, they are not aware. That's why we set up an office there to undertake these activities. So those who are into various businesses and want their product satisfied with us and have our certification can call on us in our office, then we'll assist the person to do the registration.
Okay. All right. So I think I will open the floor now for some questions from the audience based on all the things that you have talked about. They may want to checkmate some of the things that we are also saying. So let me see by hand those who have any question. Yes, let me see by hand. Okay, so I see the hand far back there. That's one, this two, that's three, and then four. So we'll take the first four, and then we'll come back for responses.
Can you take your questions so
thank you very much. There was a period in 2022 in Ghana when the government, through the Ministry of Trade and Industry, placed a temporary ban on the exportation of grapes out of the country. grains.
What kind of grains?
Well, in general, I think soybeans was one of them. The idea, the move was geared towards halting the highs and prices of those items, which were reported to be in shortage. We are encouraging farmers to produce, and in fact, soybeans in particular was the hardest hit commodity, especially the area where I'm coming from. Here is the case where we are encouraging farmers to produce, that we are getting really market for them. And at another point, we are restricting the exportation of these grains. So as we speak, I don't know whether the farming is still in force and how are farmers, working around to ensure, especially those who produce soybeans, ensure that that particular product, attract market. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We saw another man here.
Yes.
You mentioned your name and where you work.
Yeah, over there.
Thank you very much. My name is Mura Lucas. I work with the MLGCRA Enterprise Limited. It's based in Tamale, and we are into share matter production. My question and concern goes to the GSC. Looking at how far we've come with respect to product development and export, there is the need for us to fully go into GMP, good manufacturing practices.
Yeah.
And for us to be able to compete, we always need testing of our products, probably on batch basis. And looking at the cost involved, I don't know whether there is a plan on the part of GSC to bring down the laboratories into the north to make the testing and getting the results easy for us.
Thank you very much. The next hand, please, your name and where you work. On site, please.
All right. Thank you very much. My name is Patrick from GIZ. Yes, so on the note of being concise, my first question is to Ephraim. I didn't get the commodity of the product that is engaged in. Okay, sorry, then I didn't. Then the other question goes to Madam Standardization. She already emphasized that for Northeast, they've not been able, with the registration is quite less, or it's not even there. So I want to propose that if there can be a collaboration between the district assemblies and the standardization, because if you want to allow people to come, they will come. You will have to find ways to see how you can get to them to be able to support them. All right, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's get some responses. And then the translator will do some translation for us. Which hand is up? The lady. Okay, let's pick her and then we'll get the response.
One more lady and get the responses.
Thank you so much. I'm Rojana Makara. I'm also the share data processor in the trainer as well. My question goes to Director Jesse. There was an information that the certification is going to be now be done for 3 years. I know now it's 1 year, but certificate is even expired. Director, I have to agree with you. But I want to know how far have you gone with that? Because I think the 3 years would have helped us a lot. Just only the 1 year is not enough. You have registered 1 year and the thing is expired. And it's costly. It's costly, so we need to work on that. I want to know.
Thank you very much. The 1 year is not enough. We should extend it to 3 years.
Okay.
We need some responses.
Okay. So the first question has to do with the ban on exportation of grain, particularly soybean. Is the GEPA outside here? Is here. Is the ban still in force?
It's restriction, not ban.
Okay. Please explain that to us, because this is really a question I'm addressed to you. And then I'll come to my panelists.
Hello. What was that you're doing? Yes, so like I explained earlier, the local industries are what we are protecting. And I'll give an example. We have a very big share nut factory in UP. We have Ephraim and Co, Matiti and Co, and Madam and Co over there, into share butter. So if you want to pick all the share nuts to go to people for the process, within a week or 1 month, they will have finished all the share nuts from the entire region. Besides, others want a machine, others also want a handcrafted one. So if you put the share butter aside, is it a machine or handcraft? Say what a handcraft. So just as like the soya beans, what we are saying that we are bringing more industries. Now let me go back to a share. There's a complaint here that even it's not last year, if you put Nyambala on the way to Nyambala, there's a very big warehouse there that they go to the hinterland to buy the share nuts and then export. So they are killing our, what I could say, they are saying that we should try and do something about it. So it's about the restriction of ban that you're looking at. So it is similar to that the soybean companies complain that the industry don't get enough. The Indians, the Chinese, and those, they go to the farm, buy the products outside. So they are killing the industries. Then this is said, we can't kill the industry that we are trying to bring more. Most of you are saying that they shouldn't bring machines for collaboration. They should bring machines for other industries for. Now can kill the industries. So they're saying that there's a restriction on that. But if you want to export, the reason why you want to export, go to the district and explain to them, then they give them the chance to be able to export. It's not a ban. I don't know how
So how is that restriction manifested?
Yes, so he mentioned cereals within the region.
Yeah.
Within the region too, Ministry of Trade and some other department, they met in the region with the police and other organizations, departments here. They said they have to put restriction here in the region so that most of the cereals don't live within the region. Otherwise, they will harm us by maybe making us go angry. So the region here, they are also fighting it. Apart from the region here, they are also fighting some cereals, not really.
Okay. So how are we addressing issues? How are we addressing issues of pricing? Because now it's almost as if there's a glass.
Yes.
So
are you sure there's a glass?
Well,
yeah, so what is happening is,
the prices are
you hold on. Some years ago, I was in this very down floor.
Okay.
When there was a list for Africa, for the name, we went to Yedi to express some other, there was a fish pond around that area. And then the association were here. They were held a meeting at Government. In fact, they gave us a time before we were they said I'm afraid, when they wanted to be part of the meeting. And what they told the minister was that if they can help give them tractors and supplement with some other, they can produce then the excess, give some for the local industry and export some. In which agri department or the government wasn't prepared to do that. So they said, well, they also do what they want to. So they said they completed this sort of trade. And that was the reason why they have that restriction. And so, and they have an association or say a board. And so if you are much interested in exporting your product and you are a very big or you're a genuine exporter, you go to the Ministry of Trade, they will give the necessary guidelines. You pass through and you export. Otherwise, if it was not good for the country, there's a new government, you would have equally lifted it for people to continue exporting. But see, mind you, when an individual or some organization are making money at the expense of the country, they don't see that as a problem. So when you are making your money, you are making, but at the end of the some people complain that, why would they be doing that? And so the industries, they are complaining that they are killing the industry. But they also say that what the people are coming to buy the family is cash. But the local industries is doing cheaper. So it's a conflict.
Which is given to me, I'll pay later.
I'll pay later. And they don't even pay. And the prices are very poor. They don't pay them very well. So they would have preferred that they should give it a chance to export. Direct or straight to the Indian farmers or Indian buyers. But the government said, no way, they will not do that. So that's why there's that restriction. Okay. So there's a conflict between the industry and the producers. That is the reason.
Okay. So, all right, let me add some clarity to the issue.
Yes.
You see, when it comes to exportation of cereals, it becomes difficult to segregate. For instance, if we agree that they should export meat, and about 90 to 95 or 98% of Ghanaians consume kenke, if they start exporting meat out of the country, by the end of the lean season, maize will rise up to 2,000 Ghana cedis a bag. The exporter will gain. The local consumers will lose. So it's a dual, and there are certain products we don't consume them locally. So there are certain restrictions. When they come in, it is there to safeguard the interests of the local industry. Let us even go back to the shallot industry. Last year, I had a bag of shallot rose close to about 1,200 or so. So if the exportation still continues, it could rise up to about 1,500. That is for the exporters, right? Those who are looking the local production, it will get to a point that you cannot even buy the shallot to put into the TZ. Because some of us, if we don't have share butter on our TZ, the millet that we can't eat. So it becomes too expensive, we cannot even do the local production. And when it's so attractive outside, those are women here that we engage to do the local extraction. They will lose out, they will fade out because there's so much attractive price for it outside. So it's a dual, it's a double-edged sword that we need to be looking at and then see how we can manage it. The interest of the local industry, the interest of what we also consume, and the interest of the businessmen. So it's something that we are looking at. Where it is going to be too bad, I think that government will come in and relax the institution. The price will also be appreciable for the farmers. It's just like the rice farm. Last year, for instance, rice started around 1,000 Ghana cedis a bag. And now it has fallen drastically because people don't buy it out. And here is the case, even we ourselves, we refuse to feed on the local rice that we produce. So if the rice farming is not attractive, to get to a point that nobody will farm again, then we all rely on the imported rice, which is so expensive for the local, the underprivileged to provide. And I'm telling you, we can farm rice in Ghana to feed Ghanaians. But look, the price should say that the farmer is not losing. Those consuming too are not suffering. Then it is good for everyone to move on. But if it is at the expense of one other side, then we may hit the wall. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable, for that intervention. So I will come back to my panelists, starting with Ghana Standards Authority. So what's the plan for Northeast in terms of testing and making sure that products that are ready for international markets can have the right certification to be able to do that?
Thank you for the question. In fact, the plan is that we are planning to go into the market to actually find those into the businesses, and then we'll talk to them, and then we'll also tell them how important it is to register their products, and also take them through the registration process, and then after that we'll take it up from there.
Yeah, and then the question also about bringing the lab at least to the northern part of Ghana to serve as a bridge, because as it is now, everyone has to go to Accra to get their products tested. And if I am a potential somewhere in Bindi, how do I travel all the way down to Accra to get that done? So is there any plans in place to actually bridge the gap, to be able to serve the northern part of Ghana with your service?
Yes, there is a plan to set up a lab, either with the Tamale or in the Nalebu, to serve the 5 northern regions. Yeah. But as to when that will take place, I don't know.
Okay, I think this is where the Honorable Reserve Minister look at me. So the Honorable Reserve Minister is taking notes so that he is our advocate, so that he can also advocate and then get this lab to the other part, because it's a real concern for the businesses that are in this part of Ghana. Okay, so I think you touched on the collaboration and all of that, but in terms of the duration of the certificates, now it's every year. Are you also looking at? Has there been any consideration of that?
Yes. I think this is not the first time customers or clients have been talking about this, and we also put it before management, and we are actually looking into extending it to 3 years. I remember one time our Director General came down, and I think we organized a program at Tamale Hotel, now Tamale Technical University, and then we actually hammer on that, because a lot of SMEs were complaining about integration. They say you will look into that, so plans are being made for that as well.
Okay, thank you. So, but I will ask Ephraim, how you are able to access cheap capital? Is there anything like that in your line of business? There's nothing like cheap capital. Okay, so you tell us what kind of financial support have been made available, institutional support to facilitate your export process.
Yes, like I said earlier on, all the finances
it's from own pocket.
Was from my
and you go to the bank.
Goods, yes, and the sales of the products. That was where money was generated from. But a couple of times, Exim Bank contacted us, seeking for.
Please let's have one conversation, and then maybe Ephraim speak up.
So Exim Bank contacted us a couple of times. Wanted us to go into this partnership where they will give us an amount of money, but that money will be with them. Anytime we get a huge order, make it LC, letter of credit, we just come to them, that amount we need for the for processing, they will release it to us, and then when the goods is supplied and the money is paid, it will be paid into their account. They will take their money. Also, we got to realize that all these things we will be making for them, and their interest was high. So they said that if you go into such deal, you end up working to pay the bank. You will never grow your business. So that came. So we decided not to go. Then other banks like Stanbic Bank, Absa Bank, or contacted us. We just looked at their interest rate, and we just advised ourselves, if we are able to get a huge order, the profit that probably will be in the order can be able to sustain us and let us be in business. So we decided not to go yet. We have been struggling on our own.
So the Exim Bank deal, because it wasn't favorable, but the commercial banks gave you some loans that you thought that for those rules, you can actually work with it. You can access it and then.
They also came for talks. Okay. But we didn't agree.
You also didn't agree?
Yes. As we are talking, CBG is on our nerves.
Okay.
CBG. They just want us to create an account with them. They are ready to give us any amount of money we need or not. But the interest rate is always our problem. And some are charging some as high as 30%. And if you are taking loan and you pay 30%, close to 40%, then it's not good for our business. Yes.
That's understandable for us. But Mr. Sani wants to add something to the conversation.
Thank you. I just want to assure my sister over there that the other SMEs that the civil society organizations are also working very hard for the renewal of certificates to be, extended to say 3 years. So I want to assure SMEs that you are not alone. We also see the 1 year renewal is very cumbersome for us. So several platforms we are raising it, and it's like we are receiving attention. And so maybe very soon we'll get up to 3 years renewal process.
All right, thank you. Any final? Okay, I see. We'll take the last 2 hands and then we'll wrap up. So we'll take the gentleman in blue and then the Ghana Enterprises Agency regional manager.
Your name and where you are coming from, and make it concise, please.
Right, thank you very much. My name is Jake Mensah, the head of Food and Drugs Authority Northeast Region.
Okay.
Yeah, we work hand in hand with Ghana Standards Authority and the Ghana Enterprise Agency. And this forum has been very, very instrumental in empowering our women and the kind of work that we're doing. But I want to bring to the fore the fact that I have gone around seeing products that have been displayed. And for Food and Drugs Authority, it's important that we get the products registered and then the right processes are followed. It saddened my heart when I heard one of the presenters say that when these small businesses, when they are growing, as they come up, then a number of institutions come in, laws and stuff like that they must align to, in which case it becomes cumbersome and some of them fold up. And in the light of that, and in promoting local businesses, the Food and Drugs Authority has come up with what we call progressive licensing scheme. Progressive licensing scheme. And the scheme is geared towards ensuring that SMEs, small businesses, they get their product gets international market acceptability. And what we're doing is that it's a partnership that we have entered with the Ghana Enterprises Agency. I'm sure you will also mention it. These individuals or these companies that are up and coming, what they need to do is just go through Ghana Enterprise Agency. There's MOU between Food and Drugs Authority and the Ghana Enterprise Agency. If FDA gets their application through Ghana Enterprise Agency, they don't have to pay anything to Food and Drugs Authority for us to get the products registered for them. And once the products, okay, you can clap. Okay, once the product is registered, the registration is for 3 years. Okay, as we are all advocating. I have evaluated some of the products over there, and in fact, if we are to conduct market surveillance, which is one of the key activities that we embark on to rate the markets of products that we have not certified, a number of the products that are displayed here will not qualify. And number of them, because I've done product evaluation, and most of the labels, the information that must be on the label, they are inadequate. Okay, so what we do is that we have this industrial support approach towards the industry.
before you even put the label on it, you could present the label to us. We'll do a quick evaluation of it for you for free, and then tell you this and that must be on it, or this and that must be taken off it, before you even print it, so that you don't incur so much costs, right, from the inception. So would entreat, before you put a label on a product, the moment you put a label on a product, it becomes a legal product that the FDA must certify. Okay, so ideally it should not be on the market. If the product does not bear label, then the consumer buys the product at his or her own risk. But the moment they put a label on a product, then you are certifying that the statutory regulatory institution has certified that the product is okay for it to be on the market. And that is the reason why I'm saying that most of the products here will not qualify. It doesn't mean that the product is not safe. It must have gone through the rigorous rudiments to make it safe. But just the labeling information, okay, going through the standards authority for them to also do the certification and all that, getting nutritional information and all that, these things are not up to scratch. So it doesn't make the product fit. So that's how come there are a number of products on the market. FDA has not certified. Some of them you may take, nothing will happen to you, but a number of them you may take and you have issues. And that is how come FDA will conduct market surveillance. So when it treats you, please, let's work together with Ghana Enterprise Agency, and then let's work together and then get your product registered so that you get the needed international acceptability. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your contribution to the discussions, but we'll zoom in focus NBA hopefully tomorrow. So let's have the
Thank you, sir. I think I was going to elaborate on the collaborations which he has mentioned. My name is Ransom Kali, Regional Manager for Ghana Enterprise Agency. And so we do that collaboration so to help at least Ephraim and I have other SMBs. We do that collaboration. So Madam is new. As a matter of fact, she's yet to settle. So I can understand why her presence or the GSA's presence is not felt. But she has assured me that after this program, she's coming to settle. So we went through the GSAs. Okay? So all entrepreneurs are assisted by the GSAs to go to GSA, to go to FDA, to go to now ORC, formerly Research Department. Okay? So all of this, if you get to the BAC, or now the upgraded one, ERC, which is Business Resource Center, you have all of these assistance there. Okay? And my experience, GSA, for example, has trained us so many times how to do inspection for them, put them, and then send the people to them for certification. All of these are something we do. So there is that assurance. You may not have to come to somebody to see GSA to do that for you. Once you get to the PAC, that facilitation access is there for you to get to. Then I just want to advise exporters and their quest to increase certification level to 3 years. As business development institution, we want to advise that you stick to the rules and regulations that were met, that the registration was done in the process of the 3 years. Because it's for a reason that this 1 year was done for, it was for a reason. Once you maintain that standards, you maintain that quality, you maintain that quality assurance or whatever is there, then we are good to go. Otherwise, business people also have a way of doing things, which must avoid. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think we really learned a lot. But I'll come to my panelists for their final words, starting with Joyce. Oh, sorry. I think we will take a last question from the lady. We've had very few ladies speak here.
Your name and where you're coming from.
you very much. My name is Umar Fadila from CERW Ghana. That's Center for Empowering the Rural Woman.
Okay.
And please, my question goes to Mr. Tampuri. All right. So please, have you had success involving young people in your VSLE, and what approach helped them, and what made the model attractive and accessible to them? Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, in our VSLA groups, registration is open to everybody, and so we don't have, and it's usually by the people themselves. So we don't have differentiation in 8 categories. So some of them are mixed. Some you can have men and women, others you have both old and the youth. So yes, we have very young people in the VSLA groups, especially those who are into enterprising activities. And the success, some of the successes that some of these young women and men have said or have explained to us is their ability to access loans from those groups. Because once you are a member of a VSLA group and you are able to contribute and accumulate some money, at least you have the opportunity to pick money, borrow money from that group at a very low interest rate to expand your business. So yes, I may not be able to give you the numbers, but yes, so many people, so many success stories have come out of the VSLA groups, as you may be aware. But once you are coming from that, you also work together. So I think it's a very viable option for us to take if the financial institutions are not there for us. And so that is the success of it.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
Okay. So, Center for Rural Women Empowerment, has your question been answered?
Yes.
Is there a follow-up? There's no follow-up. So the model is working. All right, so we'll take, our rep has an advice for someone. We'll take them.
Yes, just a quick one. The lady who processes share nuts, the market, she complained that these days they get short of raw materials for processing because the raw nuts are taken away, bought up and taken away from the environment. I want to suggest to you that if you have resources, are you there? I don't know it's for all of us. Okay. Just mobilize some small resources and just as the picking period starts, identify some women and give them money in advance. Pre-finance. So when you pre-finance, they will collect and bring to you. Simple. That's the answer. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Rebel. Okay, so please, let's have one meeting. Okay, so Joyce, let's hear from you. Final words from you. Let's say your final words, and then.
My final words is that as this has come to, it has come to stay.
Hello.
All SMEs within that catchment area try to come to our office, which is located in Kambaga, for us to do the registration for you.
The beautiful Kambaga. So if they are not coming, you should also go to them.
In fact, I came to the Regional Coordinating Council on 3 occasions to meet the regional minister and other heads there. Unfortunately, I did not meet the regional minister, but rather met the regional coordinating director, so Mr. Webb.
Today I'm here. Today you have met the regional minister. I feel blessed. Okay. So the whole idea is a collaboration that we are trying to establish between your outfit and the MMDAs and the women group, the youth groups that are into different agribusiness activities and trying to link up with them. So that's it. So
in fact, we have some staff that have been just representing. I will call them TSI. So TSI, Trading Standards Officers.
Okay.
They are uniforms.
Okay.
So very soon they will see us in uniform and admin office. Actually, we will do market surveillance to pick those who are using our logo or certification mark illegal, and then to also identify those who are the potential business men and women to let them register with us. So very soon they will see us in uniform at the end of this.
Great. That's a good one. That's a good one. All right, Ephraim, let's hear you. Your final words.
Okay. I would say the government should come to our aid as we the exporters to be able to reduce some of the things for us, especially the price at the port. The dollar rate at the port is totally different from the dollar we know. So if the government can do something about it, we'll be very happy. And also this appeal is to go to our regional minister to come to every shareholder production company's aid so that we'll be able to establish the processing center at NDPC to support the women that we have gathered there to also have something to do. We are in the process, so we appeal to the regional minister to come to our aid. So that's
great.
Okay, that's his hometown.
So you have abused your office, but of course in a positive light to invite the honorable regional minister to your processing factory. So first of all, that's where it starts. That he sees what you are doing, then he can become your advocate. So invite him to your factory to see what you are doing, and then when it comes to that, he will just make a phone call and then it will happen. So that's it. So let's hear your final words.
Yes, for me, I think there's a very great potential for agribusinesses in the North East region. And it's obvious that you can see, say, soybean being turned into several recipes. Soybean alone, I know at one time we did it, and there were about 33 different recipes for soybean, different products out of soybean. So I see it to have a very great potential. The only thing that we need to do as CSOs, as standards authority, JEPA, is to collaborate so that we are able to identify them, especially when they are starting, and to help them grow into people like Ephraim. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, let's show our appreciation to my panelists, Lawrence, Ephraim, Mr. Asani. Let's show our biggest appreciation. Thank you for listening in. I hope that we will take advantage of the opportunities they are talking about. We will pay visits to their offices. Ephraim is here. Let's try and learn from how he started so that we can take those lessons back to our places of work and then try and see how we can follow the same path that he followed to see whether we can actually get there. So thank you all very much, and I hope that we'll bridge the government, private sector, agribusiness, entrepreneur connection so that they see that we are actually getting some kind of support, advice to improve the work that they do. So thank you all very much, and we'll continue the discussions tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you very much.